Morning. See if I can remember how to do this. It's been a while. People have been asking, as in one person, how I'm getting on with the Well, yes, about that. I'm just breaking and entering. See, I never plan my videos. Like, anybody with any logical sense would have opened the door first. Keeping batteries alive around here at this time of year is an issue, as you can tell. There's the in its all its glory. No, seriously though, it went. When did it go? It went roughly, I don't know, 6 months after I bought it. It's been gone from here 2 years almost anyway. I got involved with the click on Facebook. Tried to organise an event for all the Ummists to come together, and yeah, that all went to shit. I got things to do here that I couldn't get out of. I got jobs on, and then somebody, in all their entitlement, decided that I was robbing them of their weekend away. So, well, surely, if you wanted a weekend away, you'd have paid for it. You know, to be able to say, you've ruined my weekend. Well, this is me doing it off my own bat, me paying for the toilets, me paying for all the fire and all the timber and everything else. So, very well do one. And at that point, I just had enough. This was over the course of, like, I don't know, 6 weeks this was going on. I decided I'd had enough, so I sold the to a Portuguese guy who lives down in London somewhere. I think he works in Heathrow or something, he was saying. Nice chap. So that's gone into his barn of the other 50 or something that he's got. And never to be seen again. I kind of got a little bit of seller's regret, because I know I'm not going to get another one, because, you know, those that have got them won't let go of them, and one thing and another. But we've resolved the issue by buying multiple other things. This being one of them. This is latest project that we're working on. It's currently in for turbo, and it's due for test, so we're having to do a few other bits and bobs too. It's got an ABS fault and something, but and she's a good truck. She goes well, and everybody's, hey, it's an Iveco. So, oh well, yeah, it's not a daft. It rides better and drives better and is more comfortable. The only thing it lacks is a diff lock, which I wouldn't mind getting in it at some point. The plan is to smarten it all up. The toolboxes are all rotten at the bottom down here, so I'm going to get that sorted and get some bigger toolboxes as well, because that's not long enough to fit a height stick in, and I've already done horse boxes. I know my own area quite well, so I don't need to worry about height restrictions around here. But if I went to somewhere sort of Evesham direction, I would be worrying, because there's height restrictions and weight restrictions everywhere around there. You know, it's like you can't drive a bloody car around the place. So yeah, it is a 12 tonner, it's 180 horsepower. It's only a 4-cylinder Tector, but she gets it. It's yeah, it is pretty good. It's got it's a Dyson tilt and slide, with a sliding winch that moves across. It's fresh out here this morning. Nobody guessed. Sun is coming up. It's going to be a beautiful day. Blue skies everywhere. So yeah, it's the hydraulic super winch. Works very well. It doesn't need a bit of TLC, but you need parts for TLC, and you can't get the bits because it's now owned by some other company, which is owned by a Chinese company. Yada yada yada. No chance. So yeah, it's got locker each side. It is on government juice, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Doesn't use a lot of it. So it's got a spec lift, under reach, whatever you want to call it. That also works very well. We've moved a couple of cars on it now, because you can get 2 cars on here if you try hard enough. So and there's plenty of scope for that. 2 cars under 4.5 ton it would carry, so there's plenty of scope for that. So, and then also in the it's wet in the new to me, and there's another 12 tonner, slightly older, 97, and the one's a 2008. Beaver tail, this one. This one needs a bit more work, but it's quite rare in that it's a sleeper. So this is also 180 horsepower, but this is a 6-cylinder. It makes all the difference. Gear issue is a difference because this is an Eaton Fuller gearbox, not a Iveco gearbox. It's much nicer to shift and drive. So the plan with this originally was to cut all the back end off and put a plate in with chain pockets in it and something else. And I'm edging towards building a brand new bed for it that's flat, maybe with a bit longer of a beaver. I don't know. Everybody likes a nice beaver. We'll see. It's on 19.5, same as the other one, but it could do with bigger tyres because it runs out of legs at about 50. So it is here and there. It needs a bit of work. Its body's got to come off anyway, so we can go through brakes without having to bend down and get in the in the muck. Unfortunately, I dug this out springtime this year because the bank was backed up to the shed over there, and it's pushing the wall over slowly, and the water leaks out. Well, water comes in under the wall on top of the slab and floods the workshop every 6 weeks, which is always hilarious. So I've dug it out. It's much improved, but it needs finishing off. Of course, now we're in wet season. I won't say winter, but wet season, because this is still quite juicy, even though it's frosty. She's starting to sink, unfortunately, so we've got to dig that out and get that out of there. So yeah, what else have we got going on? There's a transit over in the distance, which came free with another transit, which is that one. I've been using that around the farm for building work that we've got going on at the minute. So what else have we got going on in the shop? I've been doing a lot of driving. I passed my test to drive the thing 18 months ago. I've been doing subcontract driving for several companies, one driving skip trucks, delivering skips all around the county, which has been interesting, to be fair. It's easy work, but it's got every opportunity to cock it up and get it wrong, and take gatepost cars, people, and all sorts of stuff out. So I've been doing that. Before then, I was driving a rigid for a company up in the north of the county, delivering plant machinery, tractors, diggers, tanks, Land Rovers out of the military, one thing and another. We've been busy on that. That was interesting, but wasn't overly well paid. So, and to be fair, it's 6 on 1.5 dozen the other, because the wage rate was low, but the work was consistent. And you approach anybody really who's got Arctics and go, how much experience have you got? 2 months? It's a no from me. So I had to take what I could get, and I got it. And the skip trucks came along, paid more money, local, less driving to and from. So I took that, and now working. Well, they've gone quiet, so we're now working on finding something else, because we're obviously still building the business here. So yeah, it's been an interesting. Adding to that, we had a little one in December last year, so she's nearly 1. And yeah, it's been a bit of a steep learning curve, learning how to dad. On the bench, we've got the lifting bar off that's off the Iveco. So we've got a lifting bar off. This is off a Harvey Frost recovery dolly, which is very similar to the ones that they had in all the Land Rovers in the 60s and 70s. Just it's on its own set of wheels. It's on like mini, well, not mini Metro, but mini Austin Mini hubs and wheels with 10-ply tyres. It works. It's got a little winch on it that you can winch up and down, and this is the thing that carries the chain, which here you get a grab hook for shortening, and then 2 chains that loop onto each other around the axles. The Americans would use a J-hook instead, but it does work. It does work. It's a bit fumbly if you're trying to do something that's in the muck and lying on the floor, but you know, we get there. So I thought, well, it's already been dicked around with, so we'll modify it to be not so dickish. This is the attachment point for the towing bar that attaches down at the front by the hitch, and the distance between here and here is too great, so it has a swinging pendulum effect, and generally causes a right mess when you're trying to back up or one thing or another. So this point needs to move forward, pretty much to where these 2 holes are, but just at right angles, not on the first. So yeah, we're doing that, and we're going to make some flat ends that we've got scribed out here, centre punched, and cut a big hole through here and run a piece of 60mm tube across the top of it, so they would effectively go thus, with a tube across it, so that it's a lot stiffer and doesn't end up bent like a pissing banana. The only reason it's bent like a banana is because I lost my temper with it, and yeah, anyway. The other thing it doesn't like doing is reversing. I'm trying to reverse up, especially up a hill. The car that you're reversing, the dead car that you're reversing, tends to have a mind of its own, and the last time I moved the chassis, it all turned over sideways and fell on the floor. Decided it wanted a nap. So yeah, so we're going to do that. I'm going to weld some grab hooks. You can get weld on grab hooks now, so I'm going to weld some of them on there, and I'm going to invest in some proper J hooks, so that I can reach under stuff and grab axles instead of having to reach under stuff and tie chains out, avoid brake lines and all that nonsense with them grab hooks. So yeah, that's kind of flashy light again. I'm going to so yeah, the Umi's gone, and there's been a project on the single posts again, and that's gone. And it's I did buy another Hilux at one point. Again, hoping to relive some of my youth. That turned into a disaster, because every Hilux you seem to buy these days is either rotten or too much money, or too much money and rotten. I'm not going to spend £6,000 on a 30-year-old truck that I then want to actually use, because, well, I'll put it this way, that Transit, which does the same job as a Hilux, only not so well off-road, and is a tipper, it was 1,200 quid. So I'm not in the mood for buying old stuff that somebody's restored, in inverted commas, to then use and trash, and well, not trash, I used that term wrong. It's more a case of, oh, where did that fence post come from? Oh, where did that tree come from? Oh, I broke the windscreen because there's something landed on it. That kind of thing. I'm not interested in doing that with it. So I'd rather use a Transit which is not on its last legs at all, but it's not in perfect condition either. But it was the right price, and it comes with a spare truck. So we're getting a little bit washed out. Focus, come on. There we go. So yeah, I really need to get a gimbal-y type thing. Yeah, that's about where we're at the minute. We've got a lot of building work coming on. We're re-roofing one of the barns. Anybody is interested in what we're doing at the farm, what we're planning, you'll have to let me know. I'll do a video on that. So it's been 6 months since I posted a video. So whether anybody will actually watch this, I don't expect anybody to watch them anyway. But judging by videos that I have put up, they've done quite well, even though they're only unboxing and what I think of this videos. I was tempted to buy another camping light, because they just released a new one, and do another camping light unboxing. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. We did buy this little Kangoo. It's been one of the best bands I've ever had. It was 300 quid. Bought it from Reddit, drove it back. I took it for a test and failed the test. Brought it back home, put 2 brake pipes, a wheel bearing and a mirror on it. Put it back through its test. That was 12 months ago. It's coming up for its next one. And she's been great. She doesn't like starting the cold, but then it is an ice block at the moment, so it's going to be fun this morning. But yeah, I don't know what it's doing to the gallon. I just put 30 quid a week in it, and just keep driving it. Yeah, stops, turns, does everything that you need it to do, and it literally cost me, I don't know. The insurance is on the trade policy, so that doesn't really matter. It's irrelevant. The road tax, I don't actually know what that is. Can't remember. Just pay it. And put fuel in it and drive it. I've never put oil in it, never serviced it. I did have to put a wheel bearing in the front after I put a wheel bearing in the rear, and I think it's had a track rod pendant on it. It's going to want handbrake cables because one of them broke, but other than that, yeah, cheap motoring, and the heater works really well, which is handy. Yeah, what else we got to report? I would say if anybody wants to know about what we're doing at the farm in the coming months, things we have got a campsite in already. We've got planning on caravan site. We've got to get that in by June, otherwise the planning application will lapse. What else have we got going on? We're hoping to do. I mean, the place is an absolute bomb site at the minute. There's a trials car that I bought and used twice, and then took apart because I don't fit in it properly. And then yeah, we'll ignore the rest of that because I just haven't got time. Yeah, the place is an absolute hole at the minute, but the soil is all clay, and it gets squidgy and sticky and turns into a right mire. That is currently stuck there. It's not just parked there. So, but then it's on baldy ass road tyres, so the fact that it's in the field at all is a miracle. Yeah, so it's a complete mess at the minute, but we're working on turning this into the yard where I'm stood. I did buy a mower that needs belts and one thing and another, so I've got to get that going before spring, or get it back in the auction and buy one that actually works, whichever. And our plough's going to auction, and tyres are going to auction, one thing and another. The Hilux over there will go to auction. That LT35 over there is going to auction. Yeah, I've got to have a clear out, or I'm planning on having a clear out, so Jeeps are all staying here. There's a surf over the back of there that's welded to a trailer, that's got to go. So yeah, we're open in this area to sort of put some self-storage in, or maybe a little cafe, or a little village shop, because we are pretty well isolated. Even though there's a main road that runs through the valley. Oh, excuse me. We've lost my train of thought. Squirrels. Caravan site camping. Cafe. There we go. Yes, ADHD or something. And a village shop, because we're 6 miles from the nearest shop, which is shut Sundays and shuts at 6 o'clock. So if you want anything after 6, you've got to go the closest town, which is another 6 miles in a different direction, and that is ridiculously expensive. But it is open till 10. Again, if you need anything in the night, if you need fuel after 6 o'clock around here, or 10 o'clock, you're absolutely screwed. So we're working on getting on-site fuel as well, for the fleet of trucks, but whether that will happen or not, I don't know, especially with the fuel thefts around here. No, we'll see. I've got to make some decisions on things, but yeah, we'll keep updated if anybody's interested, and it's going to be a nice day, I think. Yeah, the sun's coming up now, so it takes I know it takes it till about 11 to get up to about here somewhere, so it stays dark and cold this side of the valley. Summer's a lot better because the sun's up at 5, but it still takes the top of the hill over yonder. We'll be in sunlight half an hour before it is over here, which means that our days are shorter and we get less done because we're waiting for things to defrost, or like it also goes dark fairly early because obviously the sun goes over the hill sort of here. Beautiful sunsets, but yeah, it's dark, lights out, good night. at around about, currently at the moment it's going dark at 4 o'clock, so and we're what is it today? It's the 1st of December this morning, so yeah, we'll catch you on the next one. Let me know if you want to see any more.